And here we are once again at the home of Air Radio with the clock that always says 5:45 because I'm too lazy to go over and put batteries in.
Now you just want it to always be 5:45 so you got more time to prepare for the news.
Well, I got 15 minutes.
You got 15 minutes to prepare for the news,
Yeah,
man.
time stops. Yeah, love it.
Welcome back, everybody. Big Daddy Russ Hortons, I'm Leah Lake in the Air Radio News. Our Loosey Goosey chime time. And
we're brought to you by Newfoundland and Labrador.com.
And of course, Leah's Trivia.
And Leah's Trivia, of course. Rock and roll trivia coming up, folks. We're going to go through the news very quickly. Some of the things, and the news is important. I mean, but we don't want to dwell on it. You know, we'd sooner talk about rock and roll trivia.
We were talking in our other videos that we do, and you can check those out as well on our YouTube page. But we want to bring you stuff and make it fun.
Make it fun, yeah.
We don't want to depress the hell out of you, scare the hell out of you.
That's right. And the competition on watching podcasts is enormous. And we'd like to thank everyone for our numbers going up.
Absolutely.
It's a slow process, because, when you do something like this, it takes time, weeks and weeks and weeks.
And some people might find this funny, and some people might not.
Well, it's all a matter of taste.
And it's not so much as the funny, is it? We love bringing you the trivia.
Oh,
that's the favorite part. The trivia is the...
Now, our big news this week in our area of the world is that beloved Maple Leaf icon Boreas Salmon has died from Lou Gehrig's disease. My mother died with it. My best friend died with it. Many of my friends who I love dearly have died from it. And it's one hell of a rough ride.
You want to spend some money on charities because you see so many charities out there. This one needs it big time. Big time. Borea was such a big part of my childhood. Same here.
Well, I wasn't really a child. I was 18, 19 when he showed up, 20 years old. But I remember the first time I saw him, I thought, wow, this guy is something else.
Oh, man, he was like a glide on skates, man.
Well, it was him, Lanny, Daryl, Tiger Williams. These are the Leafs that we grew up with.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
For those of us in our 50s and 60s, they're the ones we remember fondly. It's true. When you're a certain age, you're very impressionable, and when you're younger, you're more impressionable when you get older. Yeah. So, I know I'm getting old because we're talking about the old days all the time. Oh, you remember this? Remember that? But you know what?
Remember back when?
Yeah. When Daryl Sittler started to cry at the Garden.
That was brutal.
At the game, I just swelled right. I couldn't.
Even your big, tough hockey guys were tearing up. So
yeah, absolutely. And he was such a wonderful man. Freedom Convoy risked irreparable harm, I guess, to Canada and the U.S. trade. This is according to Freeland, and of course, Black Friday's here too.
Yes, it is. Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to all our American friends.
Yes. Happy Thanksgiving to you all. Hope you had lots of turkey.
I could go for some turkey right now.
I was just over in the mall, and it'd be amazing how many big screen TVs are going out the door at Walmart.
Yeah, the Black Friday deals are on.
Talking about Walmart.
U.S. Walmart shooting going on. Manager kills 6 at a Virginia supermarket. Then you got Chinese with their COVID situation. Record numbers of cases as virus surged nationwide. There's also a new interactive map shows 200,000 galaxies and just a slice of the known universe, which is pretty cool.
That just came out this week. We can see what the scientists see now.
I saw that.
We can see the Big Bang.
Yeah.
You can see it with your eyes. Did you know on the snowy screen of a TV, you see all those lines? I heard that 10% of those squeeby GBs are from the Big Bang.
Really?
Yeah, it's just, I don't understand, but I thought maybe you might.
No, I don't actually. I am going to check into that though.
No, seriously.
I'm serious. I will.
Indonesia, they had an earthquake.
Oh, yeah.
Search for survivors. Death toll is just huge. The lawyer for the Freedom Convoy is getting back to that. Organizers, they say, facing libel notice over inquiry claims. Apparently they were carrying a Nazi flag on one of those vehicles. House of Commons condemns FIFA's threat of penalties for World Cup protest armbands. That's absolutely insane.
I know, that whole thing has just turned into an absolute shit show.
Absolutely.
And Qatar, from what I understand today, I saw on TSN, Qatar is out.
Yeah, they're
out.
Yeah, but they didn't have a great team.
But to the whole non-alcoholic thing, this armband thing, like the controversy before the thing even started was just like, come on, really? And it being the FIFA Cup with all their controversy that's gone on over the past years, it's just ridiculous now. So.
And of course, the Americans are at the World Cup this year. The Canadians are at the World Cup.
Yeah, America beat England, I believe.
No, England, I think, flattened the United States from the last. I don't know. We'll look it up.
Well, we'll look it up in a minute. We're going to check
But
on that.
last time I saw it was 3-0 England.
Oh, okay. We'll definitely be looking that up in a minute.
It's fun. I love the World Cup.
This another shooting in the States, a Club Q in Colorado Springs. Police hail heroes who tracked the gunman. And I guess they tackled the guy and ended up shooting him themselves with dynamite. One thing I do want to bring up here, people, is we do media. And something in the media that really, really upset me this week was the fact that they had to identify that this was a gay club. Doesn't matter whether it was a gay club or not. It was a club shooting that happened in the US, and the fact that they had to broadcast it that way as a gay or LGBTQT whatever club is the media shoving this stuff down your throat. It's not people out there. These were innocent people having a fun time in a club. Doesn't matter what kind it was. What if it was a black club? Would they do that? What if it was no? And I hope the media gets away from that, and that's why we didn't do it. Jumping into Indonesia, another heavily quake hit them as well and injures hundreds and hundreds of people there. Also, a driver charged after a child was dragged by a school bus. You see the video for this?
Yeah.
Oh my God! And in Brantford, so very crazy. He was charged. He was charged too with reckless driving. So, that was the video. Just
that could have ended very badly.
Very, very badly. Like that was scary, man.
Now the strike has been averted as Ontario reaches a tentative deal with the education workers, so we can put that on the shelf. And Power Rangers star.
Yeah, that was surprising.
Jason David Frank, he died at 49. I heard he committed suicide. I don't know if it's true or not.
That's from what I've heard, yes. I tend to follow that line.
Just awful.
Terrible.
And Canada's soccer, Earl Cochrane addresses human rights concerns at Qatar at the World Cup. That's been springing up all week. Massive snowfall, of course, buried cars in western New York.
That was wild,
my friends
man.
down in Buffalo. The greatest chicken wings in the world, greatest people in the world down in Buffalo. I love people in Buffalo. Polish Americans, man, they're so nice. They're so friendly.
Remind me a lot of people from Hamilton.
Yeah.
Really, Buffalo and Hamilton could really just be one city.
Yes, they could. I love Buffalo. But poor buggers, they right between the two lakes, they just get slammed.
That was insane.
Somebody said to me, "What's Fort Erie like?" I said, "Well, it's right across the bridge. I imagine it's pretty bad, too."
It's pretty much the same.
And but anyway, that's what's going on there. And what's going on with the Pediatric Society? They're urging families.
They're urging families to get the flu vaccine for the entire household. We're seeing crazy numbers here in Southern Ontario, and I think pretty much across the board we're seeing tons of numbers. So that's again, they're just wanting you to make sure you're not flooding the hospitals, I guess, is more than anything. Dangerous lake effect snowstorm blanketed Buffalo and Western New York, and
that's been in the
blanketed is not the word. Like it literally took a big duvet and just went like this over Buffalo.
Well,
we love you guys, but man, some of the pictures, I'm like,
there's some great memes of Buffalo players, Bills players under the snow trying to catch the ball. You see Orchard Park, where Bill Stadium is, got it worse than anyone.
Right.
6 feet of snow.
Can you imagine? 6 feet.
I'm 6 feet too. I can't even fathom. Well, I can. I can remember that.
I vaguely know.
Seen it in 6 feet.
But yeah, finally, Ukraine war. Almost half Ukraine's energy system is disabled. The PM has been mentioning, and just another shit show, sad thing going on over there. That
makes you wonder how that's all going to end. How's that going to end?
I know how.
What's going to happen? Putin's going to win, or are you going to lose?
Is
there a winner or a loser in all this
Is there a winner or loser? Exactly. You're hitting the nail on the head, and in my opinion, I really don't think there is. But
no.
unfortunately.
But Putin is so far in now, he can't get out.
Can't get out, yeah. No,
can't
I agree with you on that.
And you've got Russian soldiers, I know we want to get into trivia, but I have to say this. Russian soldiers that have no food, no phone, no heat, out there in the middle of nowhere being ignored by the Russian government. Who, these are kids out there.
Some of them are turning themselves in to be prisoners of war so that they can get shelter, food.
And God bless the Ukraine, they're kicking their ass.
Yeah.
They really are.
They
I know
actually.
they're being helped by NATO countries, but still, I mean, you gotta love the president, the prime minister of the Ukraine.
Oh God,
Zelensky. He's a rock star.
He is.
And
he seems like such a cool guy.
He used to be a comedian.
Really?
He was a stand-up comedian.
Oh yeah, I can see it.
Yeah,
I could see it. No, that's funny.
All right, let's get into the good stuff.
All right, Leah's trivia.
All right, you want me to do the first one?
Sure.
The longest album title of all time. Fiona Apple holds the record for the longest album title. You weren't going to believe this. This is the name of the album. When the pawn hits the conflicts, he thinks like a king. What he knows throws the blows. When he goes to the fight, and he'll win the whole thing. For he enters the ring. There's nobody to batter when your mind is your might. So when you go solo, you hold your own hand. And remember that depth is the greatest of heights. And if you know where you stand, you know where to land. And if you fail, it won't matter because you'll know that you're right. And that's a track off of that album there, folks, on the radio. Can you imagine being a disc jockey and having to,
My God,
what's the name of the album, by the way? Well,
that sounds like the whole lyric for the song.
I've never even heard of it.
No,
I don't even know who Fiona Apple is.
Oh, I've heard of Fiona Apple. But yeah, that's just, wow. That's one way to get your name out, I guess, is make the world's longest album title.
Unreal. How did she fit that on the front cover of the album is what I want to know. All those words.
Bizarre. Exactly. Like, that's the whole cover. It would look like a piece of newsprint or something, right?
Dumb.
Meatloaf. We all know Meatloaf. His first gig was the Kingsmen and Doug Clark and the Hot Nuts at the Market Hall in Dallas.
Wow.
That's quite the name.
Yeah. He's a guy that we sadly missed. Of course, he died a little while ago.
Yeah, not too long, through COVID, yeah. I'm going to jump to this one. 1931, guitarist Tommy Alsop of the Crickets is born in Owasso, Oklahoma. He co-wrote the Ventures' Guitar Twist. Also became a tragic footnote in music history when he flipped a coin to win a seat on the plane that killed Buddy Holly, Richie Valens, and JP the Big Bopper Richardson. But he lost to Valens. So
Richie died and he didn't.
Yeah, and that was the day the music died.
February the 3rd, 1959.
Yeah,
etched in my memory.
Buddy Holly was still is my hero. I've always loved Buddy Holly.
Oh, Buddy Holly. If he would have lived, what would he have done?
Absolutely.
He was just beginning.
I signed the wall in the garage at his house.
The Beatles, who do you think they idolized? Buddy Holly. There you go. In 1972, produced by Don Kirshner, the TV series In Concert debuts on ABC as a competitor to NBC's Midnight Special. And the guests on the first episode included Chuck Berry, Alice Cooper, Blood, Sweat and Tears, the Allman Brothers, and Poco. I don't really remember it sticking around too long, that show. Midnight Special was the one that...
Midnight Special, I think, ended up taking a lot of it. But they used to have one on Global back in the 70s called In Session. That was really good. That was in the later 70s. But, those shows started becoming really popular back then, Because, you looked at the Ed Sullivan show would have, the Beatles on or the Rolling Stones or, that type of thing. And they were getting big ratings with it. So people were like, well, why don't we just have a show that does...
The kids of today do not realize how lucky they are to have everything at your fingertips. Because if we, in the 70s and 80s growing up, in the 60s, 70s basically, in the 80s, if we wanted to see our favorite band... we used to check the Midnight Special. We used to have to stay up late on a Saturday night and watch them.
Just to watch
now
it.
You go to YouTube and you have whatever you want.
Right away, instantly.
You guys have got it made.
1997, Johnny Rotten of the Sex Pistols is the defiant in an episode of Judge Judy. Johnny Rotten, the case is a wrongful termination suit brought on by his former drummer, which Johnny wins.
He was a defendant in that. I haven't seen that one. I'm going to have to Google that.
Yeah, I'm going to have to look for that. I got to look for that.
No.
Defendant, not defiant, sorry.
John Lennon was a very controversial figure, of course. From his activism to his songwriting, he was someone who was an easy target for censorship. His song Imagine was targeted after the 9/11 attacks in 2001 and in 1991 during the Gulf War. Ironically, this is a song about peace. But the line, "Imagine there's no heaven," had religious groups up in arms, and the censorship didn't stop the song from being a chart-topping smash hit.
Kills me how much power religion has over what we hear, see, think.
You know what Fats Domino's first job was? He was at a bed-making factory, and he was an assistant. There you go. Chubby Checker used to be a chicken plucker.
I used to be a chicken catcher.
Yeah?
I did chicken catching.
Chicken catcher. Hey, come here.
Well, the other job I did that's kind of bizarre is I drove teeth around.
Oh, yeah.
I used to drive teeth around.
Yeah, your dentures. You had them in boxes, right?
Boxes, yeah. I tell people
I remember
that.
I remember going for a few deliveries with you back in the day there, delivering teeth.
Teeth.
Yes.
People look at me and go, what? You deliver what? Oh, my God. 1962, the Beatles traveled to St. James Church Hall, London, for a 10-minute audition with the BBC television. The audition came about when Beatles fan David Smith of Preston, Lancashire, wrote to the BBC asking for the Beatles to be featured on one of their BBC television shows. Assuming that Smith was a Beatles manager, the BBC wrote back to him, offering the Beatles an audition. Smith brought his letter to the NEMS Enterprises, and Clive Epstein, Brian's brother, arranged for the audition to take place. 4 days later, Brian Epstein received a polite thumbs-down letter from the BBC.
If they only knew, eh?
Hey?
If they only knew.
Yep.
1963, on this day, or this week in history, the first episode of Doctor Who is broadcast. It features the classic electronic music theme. Mm-hmm. I love the Doctor Who theme.
Oh, yeah, my sister's one of her favorites.
It was a hit in England on the charts. It wasn't a hit here, but I think of Katie Downs every time I hear that because she's Doctor Who nut. Katie, you know what I'm talking about. And every time I see Doctor Who, I think of Katie because she's just a fanatic on Doctor Who.
And there's a lot of them out there.
Oh, absolutely. I love that stuff. I'll do one more
you do
here.
This one.
1976, 10 hours after of his last arrest, Jerry Lee Lewis was, he was in trouble again after brandishing a Derringer pistol outside Elvis Presley's Graceland home in Memphis, demanding to see the king. And when police arrived, they found Lewis sat in his car with a loaded Derringer pistol resting on his knee. What was he going to do to Elvis?
Exactly.
He's always been a little on the straight side.
Very, very on edge.
I met him a few times, and
I remember that.
He was okay, but you could tell he was. Well, of course, when you're a star like that and you've got people hounding you all the time, you gotta. But
it's got to be challenging. I don't know.
What happened that night? What, was he drinking? He never liked Elvis.
From what I understand, they never got along.
No, I think. You've got to say, as a musician. Jerry Lee's got him beat as a musician.
Yeah.
As an entertainer, they're close. But Elvis was the king. Oh. He didn't like that.
He was better looking. He had and he had that.
Just like you and I, you're better looking than I am. I have to put up with it.
I have to put up with it, he says. American singer-songwriter Johnny Nash is best known for his 1972 hit, "I Can See Clearly Now the Rain Has Gone." Primarily a reggae and pop singer, he was one of the first non-Jamaican artists to record reggae music in Kingston, and Debbie Harry's first job was as a Playboy bunny.
I can see that.
I can see that all day long. Debbie Harry was hot.
She was hot.
I don't mean to say that in a past tense, but back then she would imagine what she would have looked like as her first job. She was probably like young, like 19, 20.
1955, Elvis Presley sends a telegram to his new manager, Colonel Tom Parker, which reads, "Dear Colonel, Words can never tell you how my folks and I appreciate what you did for me. I've always known, and now my folks are assured that you are the best, most wonderful person I could ever hope to work with. Believe me when I say I'll stick with you through thick and thin and do everything I can to uphold your faith in me. Again, I say thanks, and I love you like a father. Now, obviously, that was taken from a very early Presley.
Oh, God, yeah.
In 1955, because by the 70s, it had soured somewhat.
Oh, somewhat.
And,
there was a lot of controversy going on that I'm sure we still don't even know a lot that went on.
Well, yeah, I mean, you gotta take your hats off to the Colonel, because he was certainly a promotion genius.
Oh,
but
God,
at the same time,
he also had something easy to promote with, and Elvis being as talented as he was, a showman that he was. Like I say, I'm not. It's not that I'm not an Elvis fan, but I don't personally think he's the king of rock and roll. But he was an amazing entertainer, a charisma out the wazoo.
he was the most
guy.
powerful rocker of all time, I think.
I don't know about
one man.
I don't know
the
about that
Beatles
either,
are
but
probably
Beatles second. Again, I
That's
come
a tough
from
one.
I come from the generation. I tend to be more the Beatles side of it than the Elvis side of it. But again, I don't take anything away from the man. He was an absolutely brilliant performer. And what a life! Like I've always said to people, love to have the fortune, not the fame.
Yeah.
Because you just can't live your life, and it's so sad because, even when you look at today's people, Justin Bieber and things like that, it's got to be hard to live a normal life.
Well,
It really
I'm a little bit worried about him. Is he okay now?
So there's not been a lot of talk. I still don't know what's going
is he
on.
back touring again?
No,
he's a good kid.
No,
he's a good Canadian kid.
I have a funny feeling his career may be done.
I hope not.
If they can't figure this out. So
1981, Alice Cooper.
91.
See, my eyes are starting to go. 1991, Alice Cooper came to the rescue of two fans, Patrick and Dee Ann Kelly, whose California home was about to be repossessed. Desperate to seek attention towards his plight, Patrick had painted the home in psychedelic colors, along with Alice's iconic face and lines from his lyrics on the house to help sell the property. And Cooper, hearing about the paint jobs and Kelly's dilemma, made a personal appearance at the home and signed autographs to help raise money for the couple, making enough to pay more than $13,000 in back mortgage payments. Alice is a nice guy.
God, yeah.
And his father is a preacher, so don't take all that stage stuff to heart.
It's stage stuff.
He's a good guy.
It's a
Really
theatrical
is a
show
man.
he puts on. Alice Cooper is an actor and singer, great singer,
And a great radio announcer.
Great radio announcer. Yeah. But it's a show he puts on. Meatloaf's like that. When he did a show, when Meatloaf put on a show, it was a theatrical show.
Of course it was. Yeah.
It was. You went to go see a show.
And you've got to admit, Alice was something else when he was on a show.
Oh God, yeah.
I mean, he was. Wolfman Jack used to hang around partying with Alice, and some of the stories he used to come up with. Truly a nice man, though.
Yeah.
But just an amazing talent too. So many hands and so many things.
I'm going to take to this one because I can even add to it a little bit. Drummer Nick Mason is the only member of Pink Floyd to appear on all the band's albums, which a lot of people don't know that. This one here, I have two David Lee Roth quotes. One's coming from Leah. The next one's coming from me. David Lee Roth quoted, "I used to have a drug problem, but now I can afford it." Now, the other one was I heard him say, and I watched this in a live interview, and the girl says to him, "David, have you ever thought about being a family man?" And he says, "Oh, I'm sure I've started a few here and there." The amount of women he slept with was insane.
I can't understand how 007's still alive. He must be going to the free clinic every week.
Gotta be.
Hey? When you at? No, never mind.
Yeah.
All right, moving along. In 1960, the Beatles played at the Kaiserkeller Club in Hamburg, Germany, without George Harrison. The guitarist had been deported on the day for being underage. He was 17 at the time and not legally allowed to remain in a nightclub after midnight.
Yeah.
So, George was the youngest Beatle, I guess.
Yes, he was. 1968, with girlfriend Yoko Ono about to miscarry their first son, John Ono Lennon II, John Lennon asked for a tape recorder to be brought into the hospital so he can record the baby's dying heartbeat. Later that day, Yoko miscarries, and the baby's buried in a secret location, and the recording appear on the duo's album Unfinished Music No. 2, The Life with the Lions, as a track called Baby's Heartbeat, followed by 2 minutes of silence for his death.
Stuff that you don't know,
Yeah.
1980,
I didn't know that.
I had no idea.
No idea.
I don't know where Leah gets some of this stuff from.
I know.
In 1980, the morning after throwing a farewell party for his bands, the Eagles, at his Los Angeles home, Don Henley is arrested after calling 911 to get treatment for a 16-year-old prostitute who was apparently having a seizure. The party was a gathering for crew members and associates of the Eagles, which were breaking up. As reported in GQ, Henley called a madam who arranged for the girl, who turned out to be 16, and Henley claims he did not know her age and did not have sex with her. And when he showed signs of a seizure, when she showed signs of a seizure, and the next morning, Henley made the call and medical personnel arrived to find her naked. Hours later, police arrived to arrest Henley, who pleads no contest to contributing to the delinquency of a minor. So, it's one of those stories that you're in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Pretty much. That's almost bang on, yeah.
I mean, there's certain things, I don't know. 16's awful young. And, of course, I'm sure they didn't know how old she was, but you got to watch yourselves when you're rock stars, man.
Those rock stars partying like that, I tells you. 1987, Eric Clapton checks into the Hazelden Rehab Center for the second time. This time it takes, and he finally gets sober after decades of drug and alcohol abuse. In 98, he starts his own treatment center in Antigua and called it Crossroads. Mm-hmm. And it's still going today, from what I understand.
Absolutely. 1955, Bo Diddley appeared on the U.S. Ed Sullivan Show, television show, and the show had requested that he sang his version of 16 Tons. But he appeared on stage, he sang his own song, Bo Diddley, resulting in a furious Ed Sullivan, blackballing Bo from ever appearing on the show again. The singer has claimed that he was never paid for the performance either. So,
No, I hear Sullivan was a dick.
What was he talented at doing?
Yeah.
He wasn't a singer, he wasn't a dancer, he wasn't an actor.
Nope. He
did was a guy, he was really big show.
He was a promotion
guy.
Well, today, folks, we got a really big show.
Really big show.
Really big show. Yeah. 1959, Alan Freed, who's an influential DJ, as we all know, on the radio station WABC, and the host of the TV show Alan Freed's Big Beat Party, is fired from both outlets when he refuses to sign a statement saying he took payola, which was the practice of record companies paying for airplay. And there was a whole controversy that went on with that still to this day, the truth has never come out.
Well, you know what? They broke his heart. They really did. And
I agree.
Alan Freed was just like everybody else.
Made them a lot of money. They should have been shutting their mouth and made them a lot of money.
Made them a lot of money.
A lot of money.
You look at that today and it's laughable.
But he became the fall guy.
Well, it broke his heart.
Yeah.
And, to me, Freed was the guy that started it all. Him and John R. and Hound in Buffalo. Those guys were the guys that really opened the door because they were playing black music in the early 50s, man.
Yeah.
You know, WLAC in Nashville, and he was doing it in Cleveland. I think that he was treated unfairly.
Yeah.
I really do. And I'm so sad that he died of a broken heart. In 1970, the Kinks' Ray Davies flies to London to re-record a section of the lead vocals for the group's latest single, Ape Man. Radio stations are objecting to the line, "The air pollution is fogging up my eyes," claiming fogging sounds too much like another F word. There you go.
Especially
hear
for
the
Brits.
Keith Moon story.
Yeah, gotta love the man. 1973, my hero, Keith Moon, passes out at his drum kit. The Who pull a fan from the audience to take over, and 19-year-old Scott Halpin is the lucky fan, chosen to complete the set at the Cow Palace in San Francisco. He does an admirable job on the 3 remaining songs, Smokestack Lightning, Spoonful, and Naked Eye, and takes a bow with the group as well. Rolling Stone names him their pickup player of the year, And as for Moon, management blames it on jet lag. Yeah, okay.
Jet lag, yeah.
But probably has something to do with the horse tranquilizers he ingested.
Why would he ingest
This guy,
horse tranquilizers before he goes on
the more I
stage?
read about him, is insane.
He's nuts. Absolute nut.
Yeah.
2002, Stevie Wonder threatens to sue his mom,
Yeah.
Lula Hardaway, for a passage in her new autobiography where she claims Stevie lost his virginity to a prostitute. And the story is deleted from future copies. Stuff you don't hear, eh?
I know.
Stevie Wonder. Well,
1997, Bono from U2 was quoted, "When I was 14, I looked like a freckled baked bean." And this one I like. Beck's first job, 2 turntables and a microphone, was a YMCA ID photographer.
what the hell is that?
Do they even do that anymore?
I don't think so. I learned from you know where I learned about the YMCA? From the village people, of course.
Absolutely.
Da-ding. There you go. What else are we looking at here? In 1954, while driving from Vegas to Los Angeles, Sammy Davis Jr. crashes into another car on Route 66 in San Bernardino, California. 3 days later, permanently loses the use of his left eye. That's how he lost his eye.
Right.
And while in the hospital, friend Eddie Cantor tells Sammy Davis about the twin struggles of the Jewish and African Americans, leading Davis to convert to Judaism. The accident actually increased his popularity.
Yeah.
And he was a great entertainer. One of those
Oh, God,
great guys.
again, one of those entertainer guys, right?
This guy's full of life. Sammy Davis was full of life.
1960, while in Los Angeles during the filming of his 7th movie, Wild in the Country, Elvis Presley suffers a bit of road rage, pulling a gun on a group of passengers in another car who had supposedly insulted them. Wow. Interesting. 2007, at Caroline Kennedy's 50th birthday party, guest performer Neil Diamond reveals that his 1970 hit, Sweet Caroline, was actually written about her.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, it's my mom's name, too. So.
Well, the Fortunes sang a song called Caroline, which was Radio Caroline, the famous English pirate station,
right,
was also named after her.
Oh, okay.
So there's another one. She was quite influential with the music
Very
business,
much so.
wasn't she?
Yeah.
Here's one to wrap it up, a wee tidbit. Bing Crosby was a staunch Catholic and at first refused to record White Christmas because he felt it tended to commercialize Christmas. He finally agreed, taking 18 minutes to make the recording, and then the throwaway song became an all-time hit. Crosby's version selling over 40 million copies.
Yeah.
And it's still selling today.
God, yeah. Still
White
royalties.
Christmas, I think, is one of the top.
I would think so.
That was written by the side of a pool in Nevada in 110 degree weather.
Yeah.
And the summer.
I remember reading about that. And finally, Mel B from the Spice Girls' first gig was with the beautiful Miss Diana Ross.
Yeah. She was singing there a few months ago on stage.
Yeah.
She was,
I actually got a mashup music thing I got to show you of Ozzy Osbourne and Diana Ross.
Oh, really?
You're going to love this. It's really cool. I can't show you guys. I'll try and get it set up for next week, but I'll show him when we get off air. So
Ozzy and Diana.
Yeah.
There's an unlikely twosome. Eh?
I got to show you that one. So
now we're heard on the radio side as well as the video side. Now we're on with Don Cherry.
Yes, we are.
Call it the All Canadian
Twice
Hour.
a week.
And I got my Georgetown Raiders hat on here. So Don Cherry, of course, is a big part of our radio network, and we're so happy to have him. Don't forget all of the programs on the weekend. FM108.ca. We have great oldies 24/7. We have Radio GTA, which is our freeform rock station, and we also have a local radio station called Halton Hills Online. So we have 3 online radio stations from the Air Radio Network, and this is one of the main studios for what we do. The clock that says 5:45 forever because I'm too lazy to change the batteries, as I mentioned. But we're enjoying doing this, aren't we?
We have a lot of fun doing this. This is our favorite part of the Friday afternoon.
We get to talk about rock stars.
And again, there's I'd say half of those stories in there I didn't know them. So we know a lot.
Well, Leah really does a lot of work, and she does a lot of work on our websites. She's such an important part of it. We love her very much. kind of enjoy when she's not here sometimes, because gives us a break from getting, mom's spit.
Yes.
But she is watching. She is the boss. There's no doubt about it. If you want to know who the boss is, it's Leah.
Yeah.
And she's not here this week because she's busy doing her stuff, but we want to thank her for everything she does. She's an amazing woman, isn't she?
And we hope you're getting the rest you need right now and taking the time that you need to get. So I'm going to try and find that video for you. But it was very cool. It comes off of TikTok. You can check it out. It's Ozzy Osbourne with Diana Ross.
I don't TikTok and I don't twit. I'm not a twit either. I'm a Facebook. I must be old.
Well, Donald Trump's got his Twitter thing
What's the
back.
big one now? Instagram?
I think so.
What do they
FaceTime
do
and
there?
Instagram.
Is it the same kind of?
Pretty much.
I haven't even been on there. I
Pretty
should
much
have a look.
Same platform.
Yeah.
Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in once again this week. Have yourself a fantastic week. Big Daddy Russ Horton. I'm Leah Lake.
Leah, you are so. You are.
I was trying to say Leah and Leah at the same time. Big Daddy Russ Horton. I'm Lee Lakin. Missing Leah Lywood.
Yeah.
Have yourselves a great week. Be safe out there, everybody, and we'll catch you on the B-side.
And we're brought to you this week by LabradorNewfoundland.com. You know what I mean? And down east with all that beautiful scenery down there. And thank you for joining us, folks. We'll see you next week.